Hey everybody, Norm over here, and it is Guitar of the Daytime.
Woo!
And we have got a really special guest, one of my best buddies, and one of the greatest guitar players in life. Certainly one of the greatest guitar players here in town, which pretty much is life. Some of the greatest guitar players in the world in LA, and this guy's right at the head of the pack, my buddy Tim Pierce.
Hey!
It's great to be here. Man's a treasure. You guys are all treasures.
Aww.
You guys are like family to me. It's really cool. And I'm really excited about this.
Yes.
He's told me about it. Now I want to see what it looks like, what it plays like, and what it sounds like.
Okay.
Okay, the case looks good. Let's see here. Up. One more.
So what this is
Wow.
is a 1960 ES-345 in blonde.
Ooh.
And very, very unusual guitar. You hardly ever see these in blonde. It's got the Lonnie Mack vibrola, custom-made plaque covering the stop tailpiece holes. There's a couple little things that have been done to this guitar that are not original, minor stuff. This bolt here is non-original. There is a very light clear coat just on the top. I don't know why they did it, but on the sides, back and neck and everything, it's not. If you look at it just the right way and you know what to look for, you can tell, but it's pretty indistinguishable. And it's been wired to mono, so that you don't have to deal with the stereo cord.
Oh, that's good.
So the guy who had it was using it and didn't want to deal with the stereo stuff. But yet the Veritone is still super functional and all that. So really a great guitar. And Timmy, you know exactly what to do with this guitar.
Yeah, and I think these are called double trapezoid inlays.
Yeah,
Split trapezoid inlays. Very, very cool.
You know, it's a little more binding than a 335. Gold parts as opposed to the silver parts on a 335. And then they went to the 355,
Wow.
which had more binding, had the diamond up on the headstock and the ebony fingerboard. But this is kind of in the middle. This is kind of Freddie King. Did a lot of his most popular stuff on a 345. A lot of the blues guys, Little Milton played a lot of 355, but he also played a 345. These are kind of the guitar choice to so many of the blues guys. And Marcus King now, a young man who's setting the world on fire, our buddy, he's using a 345. So Timmy, why don't we go outside here? Let's show these people what this thing is.
Let's do it. Feels good. I think it's going to play great. Sound great.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
I don't know if you recognize that because you kind of have to be of a certain age. But that is by Deep Purple. And it's a song called Hush. And Richie Blackmore in Deep Purple, you probably know who he is. He actually played a 335 on that song. The reason he stopped playing his 335 is because he saw Hendrix. But that wasn't until 1970. So he actually was a 335 guy until Hendrix changed that. But that's one of my favorite Deep Purple songs. And the reason I love it, there's a bounce to the rhythm. And since I'm a teacher now, I'm just always talking about how to do stuff. And the way, what I want to show today is the way to get a bounce out of your rhythm. And it really requires nothing complicated. It's something really simple. You got to keep the right hand constantly moving up and down. Never stop. Because what you want a pocket and you want a bounce. And the other like rock song that I thought of from that era that has this is Magic Carpet Ride by Steppenwolf. What really blows me away is I never even noticed this part. You know, the organ's going. never even noticed that part, and I'm learning this song the other day, and I'm hearing, and once again, it's up and down. So what's always blown me away about record making, and one of the reasons I wanted to be in this game, is it's these little amazing parts that sometimes you don't even hear unless you're on headphones. And that's one of them. But you really have to have the bounce. To make it feel good with the drums. So those are two rock songs that have that kind of pocket and that kind of bounce. So then I moved on. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a guitar player named David Williams. Do you know David Williams? He was Michael Jackson's guitar player. He's the guy that played this. And it's the same thing with him. It's constant. If you listen to the record, you can really hear it. He never stops. There's always... So it's a really simple thing if you remember it. And there's kind of two ways to do it. You can do it with a wide stroke. Or you can shrink it down and just do it with your wrist. So let's talk about the guitar for a second. I've chosen the neck pickup on this because it sounds so full. Let me switch over to the bridge and see what we get. Now let's switch to the middle. Now the reason I think that sounds so scooped is because of the baritone switch. You bring the baritone back here, I think it's full range. I'd be wrong. In this position, it's not. Let's check it out. In the middle position, this reacts differently than if I'm here. Check it out. I'm full range when I'm on the neck pickup. And then it thins out and gets closer to a Fender if I move it like that. But in the middle, it starts out kind of scooped. Pretty cool. Just discovered that. But I think they made this because they wanted you to have the option to make your Gibson sound like a Fender if you needed it. So it's pretty cool. And they didn't make a lot of these, did they?
Oh,
Yeah, not in blonde. The other thing I discovered when I was researching this is that, well, I was reminded, I used to do a lot of sessions with Rusty Anderson. I don't know if Rusty comes in here, but he's Paul McCartney's guitar player. His favorite guitar is a blonde 335, 345, yeah.
330.
335, right? So it reminds me of that. It's kind of my favorite finish too. When I would work with Rusty, he would have a row of 335s and 345s, like 6 of them. It's like his favorite guitar. He'd use them like on every session, every record he would do. So anyway, back to David Williams. He also played which is, you know, he played the kind of guitar parts that actually were, that defined these songs. And unfortunately he's no longer with us, but I had the good fortune of playing with him and meeting him. He's a really lovely guy. And then the other thing that he did that's really amazing is Rock With You. Now, I'm going to choose a different pickup for this, maybe the middle one. Yeah, I like that. It's the same deal. It's all the in-between stuff that gives you the pocket. Now, you might notice occasionally I am resting my hand just for a stroke, but generally the motion never stops. You got to keep this going the whole time. And in this, on the record, you don't hear the in-between stuff, but what gives it the pocket and what gives it the feel and that was kind of his genius. He was like the go-to guy for Michael for all those big hits because it was all in his right hand. And then the other guy that I just want to touch on is Nile Rodgers. can see this is a more broad stroke. You want to be able to strike all the strings and mute the ones you're not using. Same thing, it's going all the time, and you've got like, I think I'm coming out. And then I found one more. The really important thing about that is the 16th note push. Check it out. It's this last push before the downbeat. It took me years to actually get a bit of a handle on that. But it's like the whole game. And it's really hard sometimes because you have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, It's right before the 1, but that's the secret of it. But once again, this goes constantly, and it can go really, really fast. If you want to pick up that 16th note push, you got to go really, really fast and just grab that last upbeat before the downbeat. And then the last thing I want to show you guys is we are all friends with Ray Parker Jr. And he wrote a song with Chaka Khan when he was 18. It's called "You Got the Love," and once again, it's a 16th note push, and he's doing this really cool thing where he's bending, right? It really adds a lot to it. And then I love, he does this. And then of course Ray, which I didn't do, always does somewhere in his rhythm parts. But he's one of our favorite people, and he's friends with all of us. And he got hired on record simply because what he did felt so good, they needed it on the record. So they just wanted him on every record until he kind of did his own thing. So anyway, I just want to go through a bunch of really good R&B parts with this. The cool thing about this guitar is that you can thin it out with the baritone, and it really was. They did it so that you could make it sound like a Fender. So for R&B parts like this. Yeah, so really a super cool guitar. It's got PAFs, which are like Ferraris. I mean, it's like like bars of gold, real bars of gold. The color's really rare. It plays really easy. It's almost totally original except for one screw. The baritone gives you those Fender sounds. I love it. And it has this really cool sideways tremolo, which I'm not going to use right now, but very cool. It feels solid, too. Really feels solid. So anyway, thanks for having me. Check out my master class. You can Google me. You can go to the website. And I'm more of a teacher now than a session player. So if you want guitar lessons, check out my master class.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Buddy.
That was awesome.